Hello everyone, what's going on? My name is Danon with Headstrong Hats, and I just recently did a big update with my beer box hat template that's available in my Etsy shop, and I'll link that in the description down below. But what I wanted to go over today was to show you guys how I achieve the layout of the crown on my beer box cowboy hats. I think a lot of people are just doing the generic build where they take the box and draw the template on there and then form the crown out of that. But what I like to do is create something more unique where I can decide where the labels go on the hat and also have the labels line up correctly. And I've included some SVG cut files that can be used with your, I've got a Cricut Maker 3 and like a 24-inch cutting mat. The 24-inch cutting mat isn't required to cut these smaller sections here. And I've just backed it with poster board so you can kind of see, because I know this acrylic is kind of hard to see. But what I did was went to Hobby Lobby and purchased this acrylic for like $3, $3.99, and I cut my templates out of that. This template right here is also available in the cut files, and what it does, you would cut this twice and then put the two together like this, and then you can transfer your template onto a piece of poster board. Just kind of sketch out some of the stuff. You don't have to draw all the lines, but I want to go over that. So this particular template right here is for the front of the crown. As you can see, the V cuts in the middle, and then you've got these side panels that line up like this. And this particular template right here is for the top, and this particular template is for the sides. And as you can see, I kind of drew some little lines right here so that I can tell where those ears of the side tabs are going to overlap. But I also have a template that you can cut out to demonstrate, you know, if there's going to be anything covered up when you put it on the side. So for instance, I have Nasty Beast all visible there. But yeah, if you have something like this, then you can just kind of transfer it to the side and see what would possibly get covered up. But we'll save all that fancy stuff for another video. This video, I just kind of wanted to go over with you guys what these templates do and how to access them on the download. And then I'll show you how I cut them out to form this fancy looking crown. So let's head on over to the computer. I'll show you the file, how to set it up in your Cricut if that's what you choose to use to create these acrylic templates. You can just cut them out with poster board, but I think that you're going to have better luck with the acrylic because you will be able to, one, cut your lines here in the middle, remove that template, and then use this cutout here to actually trace around that. But yeah, let me show you the file first, and then we'll come back and cut out these labels here to replicate the exact hat that I made in this one. Okay, so you've downloaded your zip file right here, and you will have to unzip or extract those files. And when you do, it will show up with another subfolder. If you double click on that, you can see all of these files that I recently added. And you can click on this welcome PDF file. I give a brief description, some references to some YouTube channels that YouTube videos that I've made. Description of how the PDF files are to be printed, SVG files, how they can be cut and uploaded into Cricut Design Space. But we're going to go over that right now. So I'm going to show you some of the problems that I've had with Cricut and how to overcome that. So what we're going to do is click on the Cricut acrylic template SVGs, and we're going to work on the front acrylic cutout, and it's going to look like this. So I've added the width and the height of what this should look like when you import it into Cricut Design Space. So let's jump over there. We're going to upload a file, upload image. We'll go back into this file here. We'll do the front. It should look like that. Hit continue, we'll upload. And it's always going to come in way too big. So I don't know why. I can open this up in Inkscape and it will come up in the proper dimensions. I can open it up in XCS or Lightburn and it will come up properly, but for some reason Cricut won't let me do it. So I have included the dimensions of what the width and height should be. So what you can do is go up here and click on the size. And if your padlock is locked, it should scale everything respectively. So we'll go 10 and 44, hit enter, and it resizes that. And it gets it pretty close. You where it says 7.927. We'll unlock that. You can just change that to a 9. I'm sure it's not going to matter because it's so minute. But the next thing you want to do before you send it to your machine is go over here and ungroup this. And you want to select your text, get rid of your text, and then you can send it to your machine. If you upload the file and this ends up being black, you can just always change it to white by using this color palette right here. So we'll hit make. I don't want to save it. But yeah, it'll come over here onto your mat like this. So it's going to cut this large square here, and then it's going to cut these inner parts. So you want to make sure that you have your acrylic cut wider than that area space. And I would prefer you maybe tape the edges down a little bit so that you make sure that it doesn't move around on the mat. And the settings that I use for this are listed in the directions of the file. I use 350 on the pressure with 6 passes. Okay, so that takes care of that one. Let's go ahead and upload these other two. We'll go with the top. So obviously that's just a basic square, and that is going to go on the very top of the brim. Okay, so now that it's on the top here, you can see that we are dealing with the same situation where it's saying it's 278 inches. But I know from my memory that it should only be 4.5 inches wide. So we'll type that in. Excuse me. And that basically gets me down to where I can see these other measurements. So remember, we're going to go up here, ungroup. We can take this text over here and move it. And let me select this guy. 4.5. I'll go ahead and unlock this. Oh, it's right there at it. 4.724. Boom. Select that, delete it, go back over here and hit make. Now you see how it's on this mat right here and the color is black. If you want it to be more visible, you can select this box, change your color to white, then send it over to the machine. It'll give you a white backdrop, and then it'll help you see your guidelines for that. So that takes care of the top portion of the brim. And one last upload, I'll show you how we do it just for giggles here. We'll go with the side panel here. Continue, upload, puts it on the mat. That is so large. I don't understand why it does that, but like I said, this is kind of like a workaround. We'll ungroup and change this to 5.3. Take this text, delete it, go back to your side panel, change your color to white, send it to the machine, and it looks like that. And like I said, when you hit, I don't think I have my machine hooked up yet, so it's not going to give me the next screen, but you'll want to put a deep cut blade in your machine, 350 on the pressure, and 6 passes. Matter of fact, while I have you here, I just want to go over some of these other SVG cut files that I offer. I'm going to be going over all of these different ones in another video. I don't want to bombard you with a bunch of information all at one time, but I just wanted you to see that I have all these different cut files available for you so that you can further customize how you want the crown of your hat to look. And just briefly, we'll go through some of these other ones. For instance, the crown template, oh, that's the PDF. The SVG. So the Cricut machine will not cut the full template because it will only cut up to 12 inches wide, but it will cut up to 24 inches long. So you can just cut your template out from some poster board with this, or if you wanted to do the acrylic. Now I eliminated these lines that we're going right here because you really don't need to have those lines cut with your acrylic template, and that would be used just to have something that is durable and you can use multiple times over and over. So yeah, you can see that I've got a ton of different things in here, and under each particular folder I do give directions on pretty much how to use them. So anyway, that's that. Let's get our templates ready, our beer box ready, and I'll show you how they fit onto the template. We're going to start with this guy right here. This is going to be used for the front and the back of the crown, and you can take whichever label you're going to use, and just all you have to do is line those top points up with the very top of your box. And if you want it to sit any lower, you can obviously just cut this part off the top right here, and I think that's what I'm going to do because I'm gonna have to do some work on this one because I want this to be in the middle of the crown, and then that's going to leave a void right here. So I'll take some of this material from the right side and just tape it to this right here, and then we'll cut that out. But first I'm going to cut probably about 1 centimeter off the top of this. And then once I have, what I did is, you probably can't see it, but I did score a line right there, which is in the middle. And that exact middle is going to be at 3 centimeters. That's a 3 centimeters. That's a 6 centimeter gap. So 3 centimeters is directly in the middle. And that helps me determine where the middle of my label is going to be. And if I line those 2 dots up right there, it looks good. And then you can see I have all this excess material here. So what I'm going to do is just kind of eyeball that if I go maybe from the P down to this 6 and down to the area right there, I'll have enough material on the right so that I don't interfere with it. Forgot I'm going to need a little bit of tape here. So what we'll do is we'll flip this over. Run a piece of tape there. And then just line these up. Then you take your template and line the 2 points up here on the top. Make sure that your score line is directly down the middle. Hold everything in place and cut this section here. And very carefully, without moving anything, cut the opposite side. And now that we have a good score line, we can just go back here and cut a little deeper to make sure we cut all the way through. We're going to set that to the side, and then we need to access this panel right here, which is one of the cutouts from this other template. And then all you have to do is go back to that top point and make sure this edge is lined up and cut around this. And now you can see exactly why I prefer to have this made out of acrylic, because if it's poster board, you might end up cutting through your poster board. And then we're just going to flip this over, do the exact same on this side. I'm going to flip it upside down. It might help me articulate my knife around there a little bit better. All right, so we can get that out of the way. And there we go. That is going to be the template for the front. And we would just repeat that process again on another sheet for the back. And just remember, don't forget you need to cut just a little bit off of the top to make sure that they both have the same material showing on the front. Well, you know what I mean. All right, so now we are going to be working on this portion. And I scored some lines on mine so that if I ever need to, I can divide these up into quadrants, but this is going to fit on there like this. So I would take this clear template and lay it on top of the box I'm going to cut out and get it all squared up, make sure that I have everything as symmetrical as I can get it. And then we'll just cut around this. And boom. So now we have the top and we have the front. And now we're going to look at making the side right here. And one thing I want to point out is that with the center line marked right here, I can't just use this particular design because it's going to be offset. So I use this score line right here in the middle, indicate where the middle of the logo is going to go. And then of course I don't want to have variety pack on the top, so I know that I need to add about 3 centimeters of material to the left side of this. And to achieve that, I'm just going to go ahead and cut this straight across. Actually, I'm not. I'm going to borrow some material from this side. There we go. So now I know that I have enough material over here, and we will take this template, get everything centered, and then we can just cut this one out as well. So to save you the agony and pain of watching me do the rest of that, I'm going to show you how you would then take these and put it onto the poster board. I use my pre-made template, and all I've done is, oh, by the way, this is 18 inches wide by 15 inches tall, and I just take a line at the 7.5 mark, draw it across so that I can line up these points, and then I'll just put a couple marks on here because these are going to be cut lines later. I'll just kind of sketch that in. And I can redraw this on the opposite side before making the hat. But what this is going to do is just kind of give me a layout of where everything's going to go. Okay, so we'll take this top piece and it will line up in between these two lines here, and then your side panel will fit in this space right here. And then these will fit on the side just like this. Now they're probably not going to line up just with the lines on there because of the offset from the pencil from tracing it in. But yeah, you would just duplicate this panel for that side and cut another one of these for this opposite side over here. And it fits together just pretty much like a puzzle. Just like that. And then I use Super 77 on the back side of these, and then I'll put a coat of Super 77 on this as well, and then just put everything on there, and then you would continue to proceed with the procedure of making the crown. So yep, that's going to wrap it up for this one. I just wanted to let you guys know that these templates are available for you at your disposal in my template download on my Etsy shop. And if you have already downloaded my template before, you can just go back into your purchases and downloads and re-download the file, and it will come with all of these templates in the package. So stay tuned for the next video, and we'll be going over some of these other custom templates that I've made, and help you guys try to make the best beer box cowboy hats possible. Thanks for watching.